Alright, so at this point what we're about to do is drill the 9 holes in the top that are going to hold the marbles when you're playing the game. So we're going to use a different type of bit, and this is called a countersink bit. This is typically used to put in what's called a countersink, where if I wanted like a screw to go down in here and the head of it to sit flush with the top of the wood, I could use this bit so the somewhat of a cone-shaped head fits down in there and sits flush. For this, it's perfect for what we're trying to do, just so marbles sit on here nice and easy. We don't really want a square-ended bit that's going to leave us a flat-bottomed hole. This is going to give us a cone-shaped hole, which will hold those marbles in there better. So for this, what I need to do, make sure that everything's clean and clear of dust. Open this up, and so we've cut the ends. We've cut this thing to length. Because some people's might be slightly different length, wherever you marked, I tend to cut, so it could vary a little bit. I would like you to clamp on the edges, again the straighter grained, smoother sides. That's going to ensure that it's just going to help it go smoother on all sides. So you can do this part before or after drilling the side holes, it really doesn't matter, as long as they all get done. I'm going to clamp in on the edges, and what I want to do is I want to bring the tip of my bit down and line it up with the intersection of one of the holes, which I've already hit with a scratch awl. So get pretty close here. Go ahead and clamp this in here tight, and we don't want that moving around. What I tend to do in my class, and I double check with the teacher if you have Mr. Longenecker or something else, tap this over. I tend to leave this just slightly loose, the table, so you can bump it into place exactly where you need it. So it's stiff, but not, not going to move around on you, but you can still move it by tapping the table side to side to get it exactly where you need it. Also on this, I have not been setting the depth. Every board varies a little bit, so what might work for one board might not work for the next. So what we're looking for is roughly a 1/2 inch diameter on your hole. So to show you here, so I'm lined up, I'm good and tight. We'll give it a shake here. Go ahead and turn the light on, a little easier to see. Flip this on, make sure my sleeves are out. Again, all the clothing issues, no rings, nothing on, no jewelry whatsoever, closed-toed shoes, hair tied back, everything. And I just want to run this down in about 1/2 inch. If you can see that, this lifted a bit. I just need to tighten it up a little more. It seemed good and stiff, obviously it wasn't. And there's my first hole. Now, by doing this way, what I can do is I can just slide this on over to my next hole, and it should be pretty well lined up. And in this case, I might need to come just a hair back my way, make sure I'm right on, and clamp it. Now, if we go one by one, it could take forever. About 1/2 inch down. The bit is larger than a 1/2 inch. If I were to drill the whole way down in, so the whole surface of the bit's there, it's going to be 5/8. It really doesn't look good. It's too big of a hole. So you can see here, 1/2 inch, going to be approximately, let me make sure you can see what I'm showing you, something about like that. Okay. Probably a finger fits right down in there pretty easy, something like that. But again, too small, the marble doesn't want to sit in there. Too large, and it just looks bad. Flat out looks bad. So 1/2 inch is aesthetically pleasing. It's functional, and go ahead and I'm just going to repeat this process for all 9 holes. So line up. Doesn't take too long. We'll have both small drill presses, number 3 and number 4, set up so you can use either one. And just make sure fingers are out of the way. Once you drill holes, don't put your hand in there while that's spinning it off. We can use a bench brush to wipe this off when we're done, but I would go ahead and finish all 9 holes first. Please, once you get done with that, wipe all around here, the table, the surrounding areas, as well as where we're actually drilling our holes here, and the vise. We want to make sure we leave a clean vise for the next person. So that is our top hole. So just to give you a different vantage point, I'm going to line the tip up with my intersection, clamp it down into place here good and tight, make sure I'm still aligned, and I can tap a bit if not, and about our 1/2 inch. So now I did take a couple passes. I don't need to do this in a couple passes. I'm just making sure I'm not going too deep and then it's not too small. What you do not want to do either is we do not want to hold that down in there and just let it spin in the wood. It's going to create that friction that we don't want to create. So get in, get out, be done with it, move on to the next one, clean everything up when you're done.